Hey guys, I'm Akash and welcome to Pabbly. So the topic for today's video is automatically add user in Uteach course on Google Form submission. Now suppose guys you have created an registration form, online registration form using Google Form. So you want that whenever a user fills this form and submits it, you want to add that very same user into your Uteach course or Uteach school. Now the manual process of getting the form submission data from Google Forms and manually adding that very same person into Uteach course can be very much repetitive and time consuming. So in this video, I came up with an awesome automation by which whenever we will receive a new form submission in Google Forms, automatically the details or the data of that very same form submission, same user will be collected and that very same user will be added in Uteach course as a student. Interesting, right? Now you must be thinking how we are going to do this. So to make this happen, we will be using Pabbly Connect, which is an automation and integration software. Now what is the actual step-by-step guide to set up this automation and how you can do this automation by yourself? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on the Pabbly Connect dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, we just have to go to a browser and search for Pabbly, pabbly.com/connect. And after reaching to the landing page of Pabbly Connect, by clicking on sign up free, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. Or if you already have an account, just click on sign in. So after reaching this dashboard, click on create workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I'll name my workflow as Google Forms to Uteach. Google Forms to Uteach. And click on create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we can see two different windows. First one is trigger window, second one is action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with our trigger window. So the idea here is, first, we will get the details or the data of Google Form submission inside Pabbly Connect. And after that, using Pabbly Connect, we will send that very same form submission data to Uteach to enroll the form submission user who have submitted the form inside or add that person inside our Uteach account as a student. So for that, here in trigger window in choose apps, we will search for Google Forms. Google Forms it is. And after that in trigger event, we will select new response received. After selecting the trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we will use this webhook URL to connect Google Form and Pabbly Connect. So just copy this webhook URL from here. After that, we will go to the form which we have created. So this is the form named as PHP course registration. And in this form which I have created, I am asking their name, email address and mobile numbers from the user to register for the PHP course in my Uteach account. So this is the form, and after creating your form, you can see that right now here we are in the questions tab. Just click on this responses option and you can see an option of create spreadsheet over here. Click on this and click on create. So you will notice that a new spreadsheet will open in new tab. So this is the very same spreadsheet in which our Google Form responses are getting stored on form submission. So we will using this spreadsheet, we'll get the form submission data to Pabbly Connect. So after opening this spreadsheet, we'll go to extensions, add-on and click on get add-ons. After clicking on get add-ons, we can see that Google Workspace Marketplace is open over here. And here in search app, we have to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. Pabbly Connect webhooks. And as you can see, Pabbly Connect webhook, this add-on is already installed in my Google Sheets. So you have to install this very same add-on in your Google Sheet, and after that, just don't forget to refresh your Google Sheet once. This is a very important step. And after refreshing your Google Sheet, we'll go back to extensions and you can see that Pabbly Connect webhook, this option will be available over here. Hover on this and click on initial setup. After clicking on initial setup, a dialog box opens which is asking us selected spreadsheet, webhook URL and trigger column. So in this spreadsheet, I have selected only one sheet. I have only one sheet which is form response 1. So we have selected that specific sheet and after that it is asking us webhook URL. So here we have to enter the very same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. So just copy the webhook URL from Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. After pasting the webhook URL, it is asking us trigger column. So you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? So trigger column is basically the last data entry column of our spreadsheet. So for example, in background here, you can see that column D will be my trigger column because it is the last column in which my data exists. So I will select trigger column as column D. According to your spreadsheet, according to your form, D, E, F, G, H, any column could be your trigger column. Just ensure that that is the last data entry column of your spreadsheet. And after selecting our trigger column, click on submit. Now after that, once again we'll go to extensions, go to Pabbly Connect webhook, and this time click on send on event. By enabling send on event, we told this extension, we told Google Sheet that whenever a new data in a new row is added till our trigger column, immediately send that very same data through Pabbly Connect. So as we know that the response or the data of form submission is captured inside this sheet, so we will make a form submission or submission in this form. Just click on this preview button of this form and we will see that in Pabbly Connect here it is right now showing us waiting for webhook response. But now because we have connected Pabbly Connect and Google Form using a webhook URL, as we submit this form, as we enter the details and submit this form, the response of this very same form submission will be captured inside Pabbly Connect. So let's do this. We'll enter the name of a student, for example, Ashi Rai is the name. This is the email address. And this is the mobile number. So we have entered details of a dummy user, Ashi Rai, this is the name, this is the email address, and this is the mobile number. Just click on submit. And the form is submitted. Now because as I told you, that response of this form submission is captured inside or stored inside Google Sheet. So we have new response in Google Sheet, and because we have connected this sheet with Pabbly Connect using the webhook URL and selected event as send on event, immediately as this sheet populates, the response or the data of this very same form submission will be captured inside Pabbly Connect as well. So here in Pabbly Connect, we can see that we have received a response over here. So earlier it was showing us waiting for webhook response, but now the response is captured. And this is the response of very same form submission which we just now made. We have the same name, same email address, and same mobile number. So guys, the step 1 of setting up this automation is now successfully completed. We have successfully connected Google Forms with Pabbly Connect and received the Google Form submission data inside Pabbly Connect. Now we have to move to step 2. Where using Pabbly Connect, we will send this very same data to Uteach to add this user who has submitted the form into a Uteach account as a new student. For that, we will scroll down and come to our action window. And here in Choose App, we will search for Uteach. Uteach it is. After that, in action event, we have to select Create Student and click on Connect. Select Add New Connection. So basically here, now we have to connect our Uteach account with Pabbly Connect. Now you must be thinking, to make the connection, it is asking us domain and API key. But how we will get the domain and API key of our Uteach account? So guys, to get the domain and API key, go to the dashboard of your Uteach account and on the left side, click on Settings and select Integrations. And after reaching to this integrations page, you can see Pabbly Connect over here. So just click on Pabbly Connect. And after that, in this dialog box, you can see the API key and domain of your Uteach account. So copy the API key from here, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. After that, go back to Uteach, copy the domain as well and paste the domain over here. And click on Save. Now we can see that our Uteach account is now successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, it is asking us name and email address of the user to whom we want to add as a student in Uteach account. So we have received the name and the email address of the user on form submission response in our trigger window from Google Forms. So basically we have to map this very same data over here in these fields. And the process of mapping is very simple, guys. Simply click on this field and from the drop down below from Google Form responses, we have to select the name of the person, the response for the name of the person. And follow the very same process for email as well. Click here and from the drop down, select the email, map the email. And after mapping these details, just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, we can see that we have received a response over here. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that this user Ashirai is now successfully added as a student in our Uteach account. So let's check it. We will go to Uteach and go to user section, students. And yes guys, we can see that Ashira is the very same person whose details we have entered while making the form submission is now automatically added as a new student in our Uteach account. Which means the automation, the workflow which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. Now after setting up this automation, let's test this automation once. We'll come back to our form, refresh it, and enter the details of a new user in this form. For example, Akash Bhelkar. This is the name of a new user. Let's enter the email address as well. And mobile number once again. And click on submit. Now the form is successfully submitted. Now let's check our Uteach account that this very same user is automatically, instantly added as a student in our Uteach account or not. Let's get back to Uteach, refresh this. And yes guys, you can see that just now Akash Bhelkar, the very same user whose details we have entered while making the form submission, is now instantly automatically added as a student in our Uteach account. Which means the automation which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. Now let's just get back to Pabbly Connect and understand in brief that what are the steps we followed while setting up this simple automation. So first, we have created a workflow in Pabbly Connect, and where in this workflow in trigger window, we have selected Google Forms and trigger event was new form response. Then using a webhook URL, we have connected our Google form, the form which we have created with Pabbly Connect, and collected the form submission response from Google Forms or Google Sheets should I say inside Pabbly Connect. After that, using Pabbly Connect only, we have sent that very same form submission data, form submission response to Uteach to add the user who has submitted the form as a student in our Uteach account. So not just these applications guys, you can connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect as well. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of this very same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone this very same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for free.
If you need any kind of help or have any queries, you can ask them on forum.pabbly.com, and you can check Pabbly Connect's pricing at this link. So if this video was helpful to you, you can like this video, don't forget to share it with others, and to keep getting such content on automation and integration, you can subscribe to Pabbly. Thank you, have a nice day.